Hey, Dave. Hey, Petri.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We are now live.
Okay, Dave, what channels are we live on? So I've got TikTok here on my mobile. What you got?
We're live on TikTok. We're live on StreamrTV X right now. So if you go on our StreamrTV X, we're live. We're live on Binance too. We're also live on YouTube. So and StreamrTV, the most important one, StreamrTV. Excuse me.
That
one did not want to come
out. Awesome. So if people want to leave comments and questions for us, they should do so on the StreamrTV link, right?
Yeah. I think first want to kind of say that, we're live on StreamrTV. The links are in our bio. The link is actually in our post on X, and as well, we're gonna pin it here on our chats within Binance, within hopefully within YouTube and all these different other places we're streaming, and you can interact there. We'll be looking at your questions there. We'll be asking you to kind of give us feedback and yeah, kind of get the whole inside scoop on interacting with us. So please do so on StreamrTV live chat.
Okay, cool. Except for the exception of TikTok. So TikTok we had to do from my personal account, which is streaming from my mobile. It's very technical, but you need something called an RTMP bridge to restream into TikTok as well. So we're doing that manually by my mobile. So if anyone on TikTok's got any questions, just comment in the feed and we'll try and tackle those as well. Okay, so agenda for today then. We're going to give I'll give the usual general update on all things StreamrTV, which we're going to be calling Streamr app. And then Petri's got some ideas that he wants to talk around, which are pretty cool with regards to payments for content creators. And then we've got some questions from the community as well. So yeah, I mean, I've got so much to update on. It's kind of impossible to do it all now. Been in so many great conversations today and yesterday. It's been non-stop all day. So yeah, just to recap, where are we in terms of product and roadmap? And on the marketing side. So on the marketing side, later this week or very early next week, we're going to relaunch the website for Streamr app, formerly StreamrTV, and that's going to be at streamr.com. So for those that have been following the Streamr project for a long time, we've got streamr.network, which is the core protocol and network. And then we've got streamr.com, which is the decentralized open source live video streaming application for privacy, security, and complete control if you're a content creator. So there's a new website on streamr.com coming. And as part of that website, you're going to see lots of supporting landing pages for use cases and value propositions that we're testing. As I've talked about before in this call, we're bringing in lots of traffic and we are testing for different use cases to see where the demand might be. So that's all happening on the marketing side. And we've started building other things as well, including a Telegram mini app, which is like a content creator platform for rewards for creating content. And we've just kind of kicked that off today in earnest. We're going to build a lean version, which we will launch in early 2026. God, is it 2026 already? This year has just flown by. Crazy, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's all happening on the marketing side. And then very quickly on product side, I'll let Petri talk on this, but we're really prioritizing what we formerly called many-to-many. So for those that are new to Streamr app and our live video streaming application, kind of is one-to-many, meaning that if you have a point source of the live video stream, you can go out to unlimited audience sizes. And now with many-to-many, which is technically called multi-broadcast, means we can have many parties talking to each other. We can do things like decentralized Google Meet or decentralized Zoom or decentralized Twitch or decentralized StreamYard, etc. It opens up a ton of new use cases for Streamr app. So multi-broadcast many-to-many is kind of key priority at the moment. Petri and the guys are working really, really hard on that. And the other thing that we've been talking quite a bit about is what we refer to as the Globe. So the Globe is going to be like a hosting place for all these video streams. And essentially it is, as the name describes, a globe, and you can zoom in and you can find where on the map, globe map, the live stream's coming from. And yeah, really nice feature just for hosting content and for driving referral marketing loops. So we've been working on that as well. So yeah, lots happening in the background. What else to mention? Oh yeah, one other thing, I had a kickoff call with the community subcommittee today. So, we are DAO driven. We're a decentralized Web3 project, and we have a Discord. In the Discord is our community that's been around for 5-6 years, and we've just launched a subcommittee for me to work more closely with a group of 67 community members. And so they are increasingly feeding into the sort of strategy and execution of the Streamr app as we go to market with it. So yeah, that's the kind of update to get us started. I'm going to hand over the mic to Petri because he's much more interesting than me. Petri, why don't we talk a bit about multi-broadcast projects, the globe, and anything else you're thinking about?
Yes, definitely. So Mark told already that we are heavily prioritizing this multi-broadcaster functionality. So we are now going to work in 2 Scrum cycles, 2-week cycles before the Christmas, and the final goal of the final cycle of the year is to have some kind of a prototype version of the multi-broadcaster ready, and here this prototype version means that it will support this kind of simple Google Meet style video conferencing. And that is our hope, that we can get that one done before the Christmas, and we could launch some kind of early bird version for the community to test.
Hey Petri, it's just occurred to me, right, because we started restreaming onto lots of new channels. Most of the audience are kind of new to Streamr and StreamrTV. Could you just explain in sort of simple layman's non-technical terms about the mesh overlay and how Streamr kind of works when it's live streaming in a peer-to-peer fashion? I think that would really help a lot of people.
Yes. So Streamr is totally decentralized network. So it's very, very different from let's say Google Meet or Jitsi Meet that use the traditional WebRTC video conferencing. So our system is totally unlike them. We use WebRTC. Yes, that is the backbone of our scalability. So every single browser that joins the network is going to be a real node in the network, not just a light node that just talks to some server. No, every browser that joins the network is going to actually, instead of like eating up the resources of the network, it's going to add more resources to the network. So the more users we have, the more bandwidth we have available. So the system scales without a limit. So this is very different from centralized solutions such as Google Meet, where you have the participants joining this Google video server, and probably it's closed source, so we don't really have the knowledge how it works, but probably it works the same way as those networks that we know of, that this video is actually distributed through a central server. So this video goes from you over WebRTC to a central server, and from there it's distributed to the other meeting members. Our system works totally differently. We built this mesh network using WebRTC, using WebSockets. In the mesh network, there are these browser clients, but there are also these Node.js clients, these operator nodes who are running the Streamr network. So these operator nodes can be connected through WebSockets, and that is how we get kick-started. Because in order to have WebRTC connections, you are going to have you need some kind of signaling between the browsers to have a WebRTC connection between them. So for this functionality, we use the operator nodes, because they are Node.js nodes that are usually running on cloud services. They have full internet access, meaning they have public IP addresses and open ports, open WebSocket server ports, into which these our browser nodes can connect to. But the communication doesn't happen through those WebSocket connections. I mean, you only need to bootstrap using those WebSocket servers that these operator nodes provide, and after that, you join this this huge mesh network of browsers that communicate through WebRTC to each other.
Yeah. So Petri, let me just play that back to you in layman's terms. So anyone who's new to Streamr and listening to this might be a bit overwhelmed. So Petri's CTO and very much the brains behind kind of Streamr app. And so the way to think about Streamr technology that powers our decentralized live video streaming application is this a mesh overlay network of what's called data channels using a protocol called WebRTC that sits on top of the internet. Conceptually, this is how to think about it. And as you're receiving a live video stream, you're simultaneously sending it on to the next 4 peers, the next 4 people that are listening and consuming and watching that video stream. And those 4 send on to the next 4, and those 4 send on to the next 4, and so on. Now, it doesn't work exactly like that because there's something called redundancy built into the network. We won't talk about that now because it's utterly confusing if you're not a computer engineer. But the point being, this is a really interesting concept. In our peer-to-peer technology, as you're watching and consuming a live video stream, you're simultaneously sending it on to other people, and they're simultaneously doing the same, but the viewer doesn't even know. You're kind of watching a live video, like you might be watching this live video stream, and you're simultaneously, you are kind of the server. You're kind of sending it on without knowing. It's all happening in the back end. And that's quite an exciting concept because it means that, you know, we can build this truly decentralized live video streaming application. And the implications for that are massive when it comes to privacy, security, user control of data. It means that we can start to better serve individuals and humans rather than corporations and massive tech giants. And so we're getting back to the original ethos and ideology of Web3 using this amazing technology.
I have a question. There's nothing else like this right now, right? Like, I mean, there's maybe people trying to build something decentralized that's live streaming, but I mean, for the most part, no one's really truly like peer-to-peer. Their network isn't technically growing with the more nodes that become part of the network, because that's like a true decentralized and distributed network, correct? When more nodes are joined, the larger and more less latency occurs, right?
Yeah, I would say there's nothing that is exactly like our expression of this. There are deep level technologies that can do peer-to-peer real-time data propagation, things like libp2p, but they are developer tools for software engineers for very niche use cases. What we have done and what we've built is an application on top of deep tech in the network and the protocol, and that application allows everyone in the world to use it at the click of a button. And so what we're doing is democratizing access to this decentralized technology. That's my view on it anyway. So cool. Gosh, there was a lot in there to kick off, wasn't there? But all relevant stuff. So yeah, Petri, what else were we talking about? Tell us a bit more about your thinking around this kind of like built-in Web3 payment rail. I think this is really, really interesting. We just started talking about this in the last week or two. It's not yet in the roadmap, but we're talking about it publicly because we like to share these ideas publicly and get feedback from the community. So yeah, Petri, it'd be good to hear some of your ideas around that.
Yeah, so I maybe a couple of weeks back I came up with this this idea that what if our punchline could be that broadcast on StreamrTV, start earning immediately, no sign-ups needed. So that would be our marketing message. And how would this happen? How could this be possible? Well, the answer is the Web3, and in this case, web wallets. So the idea would go so that when you start broadcasting on StreamrTV, when you open the StreamrTV broadcaster app for the first time, a web wallet is automatically created for you. And then, as you broadcast, I mean, of course, you need to state that this is a public broadcast. It will be shown on the Streamr. It will be listed on the Streamr web pages with your consent, of course. It will be listed there. It will be pushed on to social media. It will be published by Streamr. We would promote this content on our social media accounts. Then it would be displayed on the Globe user interface that we are currently building. So you could publish your location and give some keywords that, okay, this is what I'm streaming and it's live now, and then the dots would appear on the Globe in streamr.com, and there the people could view it. So then comes this earning. How would it happen? I mean, you have not signed up for anything, but you would have this web wallet already created there. So my idea is that we create a smart contract and start monitoring your broadcast for certain metrics, like number of viewers or number of viewed minutes, number of likes in the social media, this kind of metrics. And based on these metrics, we would pay data tokens into a smart contract where they can be claimed by the broadcaster later on using this web wallet that we created automatically and saved in your browser's local storage. So this is how the broadcaster could start earning immediately without ever signing up. And how would this claiming work? Well, of course, all Web3 aware people, techies, they could use the normal method using actual Web3 wallets and so on. But for the normal users or Web2 users who are not tech aware, we could present them with this recovery code. We could have a button in the user interface that show the recovery code. And using this recovery code, which is a meaningless sentence of words, you could go to our website and claim your money as fiat. If that's what you want. In that case, you would need to go through KYC and such. But that would be the most accessible way for the lay people out there to actually claim the money that you get from the views of your video. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a really interesting idea that Petri's talking about. Let me replay that in sort of marketing or use case terms. Like why is this really, really interesting? Well, if you're a content creator on YouTube, on TikTok, on any social media platform, it can take you months, if not years, before you start earning real money. I mean, most content creators aren't earning a significant amount of money. There's this, what's called the long tail. You've got like a top 5% of content creators that are earning a fortune, and then 80%, everybody else is earning very little, and they spend years in the wilderness. So as they spend years in the wilderness, they have to pass certain limits before they can start earning from ad monetization, ad revenue, etc., and other revenue channels as well. What Petri's talking about is flipping that paradigm on its head, and it's basically saying, look, if you come in to use Streamr application for live video streaming, you can monetize from day one instantly with your audience. There's another way of doing that. And it opens up other use cases and solves certain problems. So in the background, you can hear Petri's daughter having a cello lesson. But speaking of Petri's daughter, recently, I'll let Petri tell this story in a minute, but she did a TikTok live stream that got 2 million impressions. And she earned $0 from that because in Finland, you can't monetize TikTok streams. That's the same with many countries globally. So this is one of the problems that we can solve for content creators. If you're in one of those countries that's outside of the USA, UK, and other prominent EU countries, but you're getting traction in TikTok, you're getting following, and you want to monetize, then StreamrTV could be a solution for that. So, this idea that Petri's talking about is really, really powerful for content creators on Streamr. Cool. Thanks for sharing that, Petri. That was awesome.
Cool. Really, really
yeah. Cool. I think also, just to mention as well, right, as we launched the MVP for Streamr, we have a payment rail in there already, which we built with Stripe, simply because it's probably one of the easiest ways for us to do it, and we wanted to introduce a fiat dollar, pound, euro payment rail from the get-go, because this, most of our first users are kind of normie Web 2 users, but we're going to introduce crypto payment rails as well. And that's important because increasingly we're going to see these Web 3 use cases coming through, and people are becoming more crypto native. So that's coming as well. Okay, what else should we talk about, guys? Any other product features we want to talk about, or we can get into community questions? Were there any questions so far on the StreamrTV that we should tackle?
Let me check.
Let me go to the list of community questions, and I'll answer a few of them. So, as I said earlier, guys, we've got a Discord for Streamr. If you want to get involved in the project, help us build the future of decentralized live video streaming, go to streamr.network, scroll to the bottom, click the link into the Discord. In the Discord is our community, and we build with the community, and so we're answering their questions. Some of these I've kind of covered off before in previous calls, so there's a bit of repetition maybe, and some of them I've covered off in the community already, but let's get into them. Would Streamr consider launching a simple mobile app to make StreamrTV easier to use and attract more creators and viewers? So I have answered this before. I'm going to answer again. Absolutely, in theory, we can launch and release Streamr app as a native mobile app. For those that don't have a tech background, native means Android app or iOS, Apple app. We're not doing that at this stage because we're still in a very early stage of finding product market fit and traction, and so we're building lean. And so at the moment it's built as what's called a kind of web app. It sits in browser. And nowadays with web app technology, there's a lot of things you can do with it. And so the user experience is very, very good. The reason we keep it as a web app predominantly is because when you launch native apps, you have to put the native app through an app store like the Google App Store or Apple App Store. That slows us down as a company, adds a lot of cost, and we have to wait for approval from Google and Apple and everyone else. And we don't want to do that because it will slow down our roadmap development significantly. Secondly, I think there's another really important point to make, and that is, if we think about products like Zoom started life as a kind of web app. It was super simple, easy to use. And as it's turned into a native app, and most people are using apps on their laptop, desktop, or in their mobile, it's become more clunky, more complicated, and more subject to social engineering scams. The scam that we see all of the time is hacker impersonates someone else on a call, and the victim thinks that they're speaking to a team member. Hacker socially engineers them to download malware. They download the malware to their device, whether mobile or typically laptop. The malware drains a crypto wallet. The malware installs a bug, some sort of tracking. Anything can happen. So these applications aren't as safe and secure as you might think. Another example is Google Meet. In the web app, which we use all the time, isn't encrypted by default. So if you think your data is private using Google Meet, then think again, or at least check very carefully how you're using it. So we don't think there's anything wrong with web app for the time being. We'll get to the point in time when native app will be ready for us. Petri, did you have any sort of builds on that, or do you share that view, or you have a slightly different perspective?
About native apps. So we definitely have the capability of doing that. We already have native builds of the core Streamr node functionality, and that is actually open source. You can go to GitHub, Streamr GitHub, and see that we have this Streamr native SDK available. So actually, if there is will within the community to build a native app, it is doable. But we haven't chosen that route yet, because I see it would be a distraction from our focus of getting this Streamr streaming super app like feature ready. So when we have the features, all the features, we do have the capability of making the native app as well. But now, at this moment, I think there are very few benefits that I see from the native app in our current situation. So in current situation, I think the most important feature that we cannot have on the web app is the zoom functionality. So you cannot zoom the camera with the web browser. So for that, this native app would be nice to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Would that take away the fundamental aspect of what StreamrTV is all about, streaming from the browser then, if we do a native app, or is it still possible to keep like the accessibility / the no sign up and the decentral and like the ease of use? Would it still keep it intact if we got an application? If we like had an application for a mobile app, or even like a desktop app?
So I think we can build one day when we're ready. We're not ready, but I think when we're ready, we can build that native app and still maintain that sort of ease of use, one click to live stream to unlimited audience. We can maintain that in our value proposition. My question is more of a technical side of things. Like at the moment in a web app, it's point to point, it's peer to peer. There's no servers in the middle. It's serverless, as Petri was explaining earlier. And what I'm not clear on is if we introduce native apps, if we can maintain that level of independence. Petri, I know, will know the answer to that.
But in native app, it becomes much more difficult to handle the updates, like you do a bug fix. Then you release it, and then you need to wait for other users to update their app. Whereas with the web app, it's instant. You just real your browser, and you have the new version. So that's why, while we are still in development, it's much better to have the web app. It's easy to release new versions. And
yeah, I mean, any startup would agree with that. That's why all startups start the first 12 to 18 to 24 months with web apps and not native apps. It's where we are on the journey. That's the reality of it. Okay, I'm going to move on to questions. So question number 2 was, could StreamrTV benefit from multilingual support or incentives? Multilingual support, 100%. again, we've got to make decisions and allocate our resource accordingly. And it's not a priority for us right now, but certainly we can do it. I dare say we can do that with plugins. We've not talked about plugins in this call, but that's a feature that's coming, allowing community members to vibe code features that they want to see on StreamrTV. By the way, I'm live streaming on TikTok, and the video image of me on TikTok makes me look 10 years younger than it does in real life. So that's our first idea for a plugin.
A nice filter, a filter with makes you look 10 years younger.
I do not look like that in real life, which is a pity. But yeah, you get the warts and all version on Streamyard.
I will say they do have a nice like quality camera on TikTok. They do a good job with the quality of camera and like the filters. They got.
It's all AI though, right? I mean, it's not real. So I've got like this chiseled jawline. Skin looks good. Right, I digress. Let's get back to the questions, the serious stuff. Roughly, how long do you see StreamrTV remaining in active development before it's complete and the team can shift more focus back to the streamer network and data side? So this question is a question that isn't really up to speed in terms of what we're doing with Streamr. We're pivoting Streamr from protocol and network to application layer. I've talked about this many times. It's a strategy to see network adoption of our technology. The live video streaming application will never be complete. We will continue to build on it. It's our new focus going forwards. We are, of course, maintaining Streamr network as the underlying technology and maintaining the core tokenomics and operator node side of it. The operator nodes that are part of Streamr network are integral to the success of the live video streaming application. They support the live video streaming application as and when needed, as Petri was explaining earlier. Which leads me on to the next question quite nicely as a segue. So the next question is, there's been discussion around introducing a deflationary mechanism for data, for example, automatically burning tokens from slashing events or allowing users to burn part of their rewards to support token scarcity. Do you see a role for this in Streamr's long-term tokenomics? Okay, so yes, absolutely. We are doing two big things in the next kind of 12 to 24 months. One is we're finding real traction and demand for Streamr application, live video streaming application. We're testing user bases, personas, geographies, use cases to try and find out where the products can be used, and so that we can get traction and find product market fit. That's job to be done, number one. Job to be done, number two, is support data token tokenomics. So data token, for those that aren't familiar, is the native token of the Streamr network. The tokenomics support operations of the operator nodes. It supports the economics of the operator nodes that support the mesh overlay network. As we get more demand coming through for the live video streaming app, that demand and value capture as revenue, some of it will be transferred back to supporting the tokenomics at the network level. Now, if you're new to a Streamr project, if you're new to Web3 and crypto, everything I'm talking about is probably utterly confusing. Don't worry, it's complicated. But for those that are following what I'm saying, the commitment from myself and the new team is that we're going to start talking about how the application can support the underlying tokenomics of the network and support the data token. There's going to be a series of announcements around this in the coming months and in next year. We don't have all the answers right now because two reasons. One is we haven't cemented yet exactly what we want Streamr app, live video streaming application to become. We're testing for that. And it's not until we know exactly what we want it to become can we really dig deep in terms of the tokenomics side of things. And the second reason is that this is complicated and expansive. It's going to come in stages. It's going to take us months to do this, but it's coming. It's coming. So we are working on that. We're thinking about it. Lots of discussions happening in the background. And now there are discussions happening with this subcommittee of the community. And we've had the kickoff session on that today, and that subcommittee are inputting into that discussion. So lots happening on the data tokenomics, lots more to come. Is the summary on that. Cool. Yeah. Shall I keep going with the questions, guys, or do we want to? Any questions in the feed, or you want to discuss anything else? There's like 3 or 4 more questions we can get into.
Let me see. There's nothing in the feed. I don't see anything. Let's see chat on the StreamrTV chat. Yeah, nothing there.
We have here in our studio chat. We do have a question there. And there's a question in the studio chat, StreamyArt chat, and that's about the recording feature. So actually, the recording feature is already live on StreamrTV. You can try it. It's still a beta version. It has some limitations, like the streams are. I mean, the recordings, they are unencrypted, so don't record anything sensitive. The recordings are currently stored in the Amazon cloud, so that's also something that is not optimal. We would like to move to decentralized storage probably in the future. And in the current version that is now live, the version of StreamrTV, we have one unfortunate bug there, and it's nothing to do with the recording feature itself. It's have to do with the screen sharing. So the screen sharing doesn't always work. So it looks to the broadcaster that okay, screen sharing is on, but this viewer is still seeing your camera instead of the screen sharing. So this happens quite randomly. We are currently working hard to fix this bug, and hopefully within a couple of days we will publish a fix. And the reason why we have been silent about this release of the recording feature is this bug. We haven't wanted to have a lot of people come to test the feature, because there might be this bug that they encounter. So we are going to make a public announcement of the recording feature once this bug has been resolved.
Okay, got it. Yeah. It's been a bit of a last minute pain, the video recording thing, hasn't it? But I played with the demo and it's pretty bloody. It's good. It's pretty slick. Okay, cool. That's the update.
I guess I have a question myself. The discoverability feature, right? I know we want to do like a globe, and you can discover different streams going on in StreamrTV through that globe. Will there be like other ways too? Will there be like a toggle button where you can switch between the globe and then as well just like a regular interface where it shows you all the streams happening, so you can kind of, if you want, you can do the globe, or if you want, you can just like do the typical like view through all the different streams that are happening on StreamrTV. Because I think once the discoverability feature comes live, it will be a huge upgrade, and as well, it will give, I think, more people incentive to stream.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're just having a bit of a chat as we're doing this live stream on one of the other channels, just trying to sort out some technical issues. I think let me jump back into the Q&A from the community. Let's cover off those questions. What are the current challenges? Streamers started operating independent nodes, but there's no active data on the blockchain. Not quite sure what the question means, but there is active data on the blockchain in terms of streams that are going through the network. You can visit those at the Hub. The Hub is a mini application that's been built on top of the Streamr network. You can find it at the Streamr.network website, resources, Hub, and you'll see all the data streams that are registered on the Polygon blockchain there. Now, what's happening now is, as we build the decentralized live video streaming app on top of the networking protocol, there's now going to be a direct linkage between those video streams and the underlying decentralized network, because the operator nodes will start to support those. So you're going to start to see that transition in the coming months, which is quite exciting. So that was that question. Yeah, is the team currently approaching companies or partners to adopt StreamrTV's tech, or still defining which markets to target and how best to showcase Streamr's strengths? So from a direct consumer perspective, we are defining which markets to target, doing lots of testing. At the same time, we're still very much open to B2B enterprise partnerships and opportunities, specifically through the lens of live video streaming. So in the past 5 years of the project, we've had many conversations about partnerships in and around real-time data propagation, not specifically through the lens of live video streaming. Now that we're focusing on live video streaming tech, we're very much open to those partnership discussions with the idea that other technology companies could white label our core underlying peer-to-peer decentralized tech. So, for example, 2 weeks ago, some of you might have seen in Twitter and X and other social media platforms, Elon Musk challenged Meredith Whittaker, who's the chairman of Signal, to say, I'm surprised Signal went down after the AWS outage, and was surprised at Signal's reliance on it. And Meredith Whittaker responded saying, well, at scale, there's no real alternative solution. Well, we disagree, because we could build Signal on our core tech easily, and actually we could do it better, we believe, because we can do high payload data video streaming, which is why we're building this app in the first place. Decentralized, open source, secure, all of those good things. So, of course, we've approached Signal. Of course, we haven't had a response because we're tiny. But if we get partnership conversations going, then we're very, very open to that. If there's anyone out there watching this and you've got industry contacts to big tech players who are looking at video streaming, need better solutions, and you can connect us, then please do so. I'd be very grateful for that. Of course, we continue to reach out to strategic partners as and when it makes sense. So yeah, partnerships are still very much on the table. Yeah, other questions. I think we're getting to the end of the questions now. Has the data token been legally reviewed to confirm it's not considered security in key jurisdictions like the US? Not recently. It has been defined by FINMA, which are the regulators in Switzerland, as a utility token, not a security. We never really engaged in the US in the Biden era because of all of the confusion around SEC and the sort of risk-averse or crypto-averse environment at that point in time. Post-Trump, things have relaxed in America much more. There's no real benefit for us going to the States to see us being defined as a security or utility. We are a utility token by all accounts. It's a reward for supporting the infrastructure layer of Streamr network. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what the angle of the question is, but yeah, whoever asked the question, if they want to follow up with me on that, then let's have a conversation in Discord. Sorry, I haven't been in Discord for a while, guys. It was an extremely busy week, but I'll try and jump in there tomorrow or Friday or next week sometime, and we can get to these questions in more detail. Yeah, if the project does not have funding, what are the next steps? Is there a chance that Polygon will buy the project and Polygon Foundation will fund this project? So we do have funding from the token. There's going to be a SIP, which is a Streamr investment proposal, coming in December. The proposal is for emissions for another 100 million tokens. So that's going to come very soon. And as part of that proposal, I'm going to release a blog or some sort of content later this week or early next week, outlining what the kind of key strategies and execution looks like for the next 12 months, where that tranche of 100 million tokens will be spent in order to secure traction and growth for Streamr. And I'll be doing a keynote presentation on that in a week or two from now, probably 2 weeks in advance of the SIP investment proposal, and then the community will vote as to whether they approve the proposal or not. So that's the next tranche of funding. A very important point, though, is that in the next 12 to 24 months, Petri and I and the rest of the team want to move away from inflationary tokenomics. It is a key complaint, and rightly so, of the community. And actually, the whole reason we're doing this live video streaming application in the first place is to find product market fit, get traction and demand, and more data coming through the network. When that starts to happen, revenue and value capture will happen, and that will be redistributed into the token to support the price of the token. This is the way that we win, and that is entirely the reason that we're doing this. So for very legitimate reasons, because we want to make the tokenomic model more robust, and we want long-term growth for us, for everyone in the community, everyone involved with the Streamr ecosystem. So lots more information on that to follow. And if we can get to that stage whereby we are achieving traction, achieving some level of product market fit, then it opens up all sorts of doors for alternative investment, whether that be additional VC investment or otherwise. And the second part of this question was, is there a chance Polygon will buy the project and the Polygon Foundation will fund this project? I have no idea. We've never had such a conversation with Polygon, but I believe absolutely there is a chance that somebody would buy this project, whether the project in its entirety or part of it, like an application for live video streaming, or they commission and brief the build of other live video streaming applications for specific use cases. All sorts of things can happen if we can get this project to the next stage. And so that's why Petri and I are very focused on getting there in the next kind of 6 to 12 months. A lot of things are going to happen very, very quickly on Streamr in a way that we've not seen before. And that is 100% the new mindset. So I'll talk more about this in the forthcoming Cascade and Keynote. So follow our social media channels and we'll announce when that's going to be and how to join it. Okay, that was all the questions for the community.
Nice.
Yeah, I covered a lot there quite short. If you want to follow up on these questions, discuss with me more, get in the Discord. I'll get in there as soon as I can. As soon as I've got a spare couple of hours, I'll be in there answering questions. Cool. Yeah. What else, guys? Anything else to cover?
Yeah, just want to remind everyone that this is being streamed across many different social channels. So we're on right now X, we're on YouTube, we're on Binance Square, and we're on StreamrTV with actually probably around cumulative about 500 views across all the different platforms. And this is going to be recorded, so you'll be able to watch all this. We'll also be summarizing all of this through transcription. So if you join us on Discord, you'll be able to see all of this transcription version of this live BIP call or building in public call on there. So exciting things. I think one of the key ideas is being able to get users on StreamrTV, and that's one of our main focuses is bringing users and the incentives that can bring users in place. I think discoverability feature is a huge component, and that's what one of the key features in the interactive feature that we're adding on with the globe and other ways to make that more more attractive. And then as well, the incentive feature, allowing everyone to possibly earn just by being able to get on the different metrics that don't necessarily count to as many views, but other metrics that matter, which Petri was alluding to before, engagement via other social channels, sharing your link or your space and how many, or your live stream and how many people joining that live stream. So all of those different components that we're adding on to StreamrTV will bring that viral feedback loop that we've been searching for, and allowing and giving people more of a reason to share StreamrTV.
Yeah, man. And if you're listening to this and you're a content creator, heavy user of social media, and you like what you're hearing, then engage with us on social media, follow our channels. There's lots coming through on the roadmap, lots happening on the marketing sort of growth side. There's going to be opportunities for content creators, and we want to hear from you. We want your feedback. You know, if you think we're doing good things, and tell us. If you think we're missing the mark, we're missing opportunities, then we want to know. So yeah, please engage with us. That's our big ask. We'd love that. That'd be great. Because ultimately, like, we're trying to build a better platform for content creators. That's where this is going. So.
Yep.
Also, we're trying to build a better platform for privacy and security advocates. It's those two things, right? We want to give content creators more control of their video streams and the content they're creating. Like, it's their data. It's not that data. These video streams shouldn't belong to massive tech conglomerates. It's, you know, we're trying to get more value back to individuals. And then the other side of this, the other angle on this, is privacy and security. Privacy and security is increasingly important in the next generation of the internet as it becomes increasingly agentic, like, driven by AI. You know, everyone should be very, very concerned about privacy when AI comes on thick and fast, because AI is going to know everything about you very, very quickly unless you're very careful. And that has all sorts of nasty implications. So we're trying to build like a next generation, future fit live video streaming platform to better serve individuals rather than corporations, right? That's why we're doing this. So if that sounds interesting, then you know, then get in contact. Okay, cool. Right, gone through all the questions, gone through the agenda. Have we got any more comments or questions?
Looks like we've gone through all of them. Yeah, looks like we've been through all of them. Oh, someone, yeah. Cool. People are engaging on our Binance Square. They're clicking on the data trade, so that's cool. It's cool to see that. I don't know what that means exactly, but it's cool that we're live. We have like 1.1K viewers on there. So we'll see how that you know works out. But overall, I think we got through everything.
Yeah, cool. All right, nice. Thanks for joining, guys. Yeah, I hope you could hear us on TikTok. I know we haven't got the setup quite right, but we're working on it. And yeah, have a great day and see you soon.
See ya. Bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
See ya.